What up, though? It's your boy Street Coder Nate, and welcome back to Street Coders. On this channel, if you've been following along, we've been doing some live streaming of the email marketing bot. And so this is email marketing bot number 5 live stream. In this live stream, well, actually, let me update y'all on what we did on the previous one. On the previous one, we were able to take that email, that CSV file from ScrapeGround from the front end and process it on the back end, meaning that we were able to extract the email column out of the CSV. We were able to drop all of the columns or the rows that didn't have an email, and then after that, we put the emails into the email list. We also was able to create the algorithm so that we can update that email list with a new CSV file. So we did a lot, and by the end of that video, we had built the email list of 13,000 people from ScrapeGround. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check those videos out, what ScrapeGround is. But yeah, we just built that email list, and so now what we about to do is tap in with generating some emails. But like I told y'all, we're going to do this a very, very easy way. See, we are going to use artificial intelligence. Now, do y'all know what artificial intelligence is? I know it's like a buzz phrase. People be throwing it around all the time. AI this, ML that, deep learning this, deep that. Is all types of shit that, people be throwing around. But do you actually understand what is going on inside the processor when I talk about artificial intelligence and all of those other buzzwords? Well, real quick, I'm going to get y'all a little hip on what it means. To me at least, and then y'all can feed in too if y'all got anything y'all want to add to it. But pretty much in my mind, when I think of computers, I think of computer science, and I think of humans, and I think of technology. It all connects. You got to understand. And then it not just all connects to itself, but it all connects to human history, like the history of beings. Like, think about it. The beginning of time. Like, literally, think about this. Before humans had all this technology, it was just humans in the earth. Like, just humans and then whatever the earth was giving off at that time. That's all that was here. Literally, that was it. Next thing you know, these humans, they're kind of intelligent. They're more intelligent than the other animals around them. And so although they might be living like savages to begin with, after a while, they learn how to, become more civilized, create family structures and all of that and whatnot within different communities. But these people were still living barbaric, though. You kind of think about, like, I ain't trying to be racist, but anyway, those people were still they were still kind of barbaric, meaning that they did things in a weird way because they didn't have the technology of the time that we have. That's the only reason we really call things barbaric, is because they don't think the way that we think. So, they think in a prehistoric time. So for real, someone 10 years down the line might think that we might be barbaric based on, like, my definition of barbaric. But all right, anyway, so these people, though, they were still, using the earth in its natural form. Like, they were still trying to understand it. You got to understand, human beings, all we've been doing since the beginning of time is trying to understand the earth. Like, from a scientific perspective, if you will, all we've been trying to do is just really understand what is this that we're living on. Like, we've been trying to understand the entire universe, but first we have to start at the earth in order to, go out to the sky. And so, like, we just started studying it and trying to figure out how can we use this earth to make our lives more efficient, to better our lives. And so, like, things happen, natural things happen on this earth. Let's say a windstorm, a rainstorm, a thunderstorm. All these things are natural things that have been happening since the beginning of time, right? Okay, cool. Now, why do I mention that? Well, I mention that because I always hypothesize about how was the first technology even created. Now, hear me out when I say the first technology, because I'm about to get into this. So, how was the first technology created? And it's funny because it's like it wasn't created, it was already here. Like, I take this idea and I say, what if one day, you know how the electricity will hit a tree and then it will make the tree go on fire and shit? Okay, peep this, because you know humans, where we eat food and we get hungry and whatnot. So say we've been eating this raw pig, or let's not even do pig, because most people don't eat pigs. Let's say we've been eating this raw like cow or whatever it is all our lives, because that's just how we was set up to eat things. We ate raw meat to begin with before we started eating cooked meat, and so let's say that we was doing that, and then one day there was a thunderstorm, and then that thunderstorm hit the tree, and it set the tree on fire. And next thing you know, there was some like some baby calves or something over there by the tree, and they like R.I.P. They died in the fire. But like you start smelling, you like nigga, you smell hamburgers, like you feel me? Like you smell something like so there's an aroma coming on, and the fire calms down off of the food, and then it's like it's a dead cow. You used to eating cows, but this time you never really had a cow that was like burnt from the fire. So when you try it out, you're like, whoa, this is great. Like it got flavor, it got all different, charcoal and all of this. Tastes good. I can taste stuff. So then they see, the humans, they start thinking like, how can we do this again? Like, how can we get the fire to come down at the right tree at the right time for this incursion to happen again? And then you gotta have the animals there too. Well, that's a hard thing to do scientifically right now. But spiritually, I mean, there's tribes all over the earth that have they spiritual type dances and stuff, chants and meditations that they do in order to communicate to higher beings who they believe have control over those things. So in the olden days, that was one of the first real technology was spirituality. It was going inside and understanding the real process to get things to happen like that so that you can live a better life. Once again, humans, all we've been trying to do is how to understand the earth so that we can live a better life. Okay, cool, but that's from a spiritual perspective. Now, Pete, from a scientific perspective, we need 1 plus 1 equal 2 so that we can do this every single time, so that we can roast our damn cows. So bet they're like, bet we're gonna roast our cows. How we gonna roast the cows? Well, we need fire. How are we going to harness fire? So they start studying. Let's say they start studying the earth and they just start finding different things, just trying it. Let's see, one day, let's say one day, one of these niggas looked up, because this is really how science happens. One day somebody looks up and next thing you know, it's a breakthrough. So let's say one day somebody looked up and they found some dry leaves and some dry sticks right by each other. And they just happened to start rubbing them bitches together, the dry sticks over the dry leaves, and next thing you know, a fire happened. You ever think about how motherfuckers like there's always on campfire, how people understood how to make a campfire first? Like maybe that was something that they always knew. Like if you go back to some of the old books in the Bible and shit, they had campfires. Like how did these people understand how to make a campfire? Because shit, I don't know too many people who can't make a campfire without a lighter right now. You feel me? But like, so let's say that they figured out how to make a fire like that. So then they're like, whoa, if we get this configuration, see, this configuration is a lot easier than waiting on the sky to hit a tree and make sure there's animals under there. But this configuration of finding some dry leaves and some dry sticks, oh, that's a lot easier because we in a motherfucking forest of them. Bet. Or shit, maybe not even that. Maybe if the leaves are wet and the sticks are wet, shit, you in the forest, the sun is out, put the motherfuckers under the sun, they'll dry out. Next thing you know, boom, fire. And I just hit on a point right there. Shit, when you put in the sticks and the leaves in the sun, basically the sun is putting all these photons and energy into the to that matter, the sticks and the leaves. So when you rubbing them together, you exciting those electrons and it catches fire. But they didn't know that. They didn't know the science yet. The other humans had to build up upon this like knowledge that they learned and said, why does that happen? And it's always the question of why. So that was the first technology. Boom, making fire. That made our life a lot easier. How? Because now we can cook our food. What? But also we can have warm houses. Also, what else can we do? We can burn different things that we need to burn. We can use fire in all different types of ways. We can light up rooms in the house. I think I might have already said that. You can you no, so you can warm up the house. You can light up rooms in the house. You can do a lot of things just with fire. And then once you start doing things with fire, then you start extending and you start thinking outside the box of how else you can use it. And then you can kind of see how technology just spiraled from there. It just kept going because humans kept thinking, how else can we use this? How else can we make this better? How else can we tweak this to make our lives easier? Right? Damn, great. So bet. So boom. How does this connect to artificial intelligence? Well, over the time that history happened, once again, I said technology evolved as humans evolved. Pay attention. Technology evolved as humans evolved. So as humans got smarter, the dumber we were, that's how dumb our technology was. It was just some sticks and some leaves, the basic technology. You can go outside and do that shit now. All right, we was basic. But now, as we have grown through different revolutions and different ages in time, our brains have like configured themselves to like way further understanding of this earth and ourselves than our like ancestors could have ever have dreamed of. And so when we think and we look at our technology, that's exactly where our technology is. It's beyond the conceivable to most people because most people, they're not using that new configuration of intellect that we were blessed with from years of humans under figuring this shit out for us. Like all of that shit is in our blood. And we're gonna keep passing that on and passing that on. So honestly, I'd be happy for the people in the past and say thank you to them all the time, like the scientists and all the other people. Say thank you because really all that shit's in my blood. And I don't know where and how the shit got connected, but there's a genius somewhere in my bloodline. Therefore, I'm just excited that the genius was expressed in me. And I guess that's just how it all works. But that's also how technology works. That's how computers work. That's how artificial intelligence works. So as time progressed and as humans got smarter and smarter, and as we needed more and more technology, the technology kept up with our intellect and the needs that we had. We said we needed a faster way to travel. We started riding horses. We figured out how to captivate them and make sure or domesticate them and so that we can always have them. But then we said we need a faster way to do that. So then niggas started, hitting the lab, figuring out how wheels turn and shit. Like niggas figured out like the wheel and this, shit came from there, the wagon and all of that. Like you need to travel, but then you also need to bring luggage. Okay, we're gonna put a wagon onto a ox or a damn horse, and it's gonna pull it. But as times get better, go on, it's like, dang, it's raining, I ain't got nothing to cover me and shit. But once again, the wheel is already being played with in the lab. So you got these scientists trying to build things with this wheel that make life a lot easier. And then boom, the automobile comes out, makes life and traveling a lot easier. You got bicycles that come out, you feel me? You got motorcycles that come out, you got skates, you got all types of things that got wheels on them to make your life more smooth come out. And it's like, okay, y'all not realizing that this is technology. This is technology. This is making your life a lot smoother. This is making your life a lot easier. This is making your life even more enjoyable. That's what the technology helps us do. Because if we had to walk that long distance, it wouldn't be as an enjoyable ride if we have to do that shit every single time. Now we can get to that distance very, very quickly. And it's crazy. And it's amazing. And it's a blessing. And you just say thank you. All right. Bet. But once again, how does this relate to artificial intelligence? Well, now that you got the backstage and how like I understand the history of computers and how you should probably understand the history of computers. Now it's time to get into the point that I'm getting at. We humans, us humans, we are at a state in our like history where we can do and be all things that we want to do and be. Yet life and the constraints that life puts on us makes it very hard for us to live that reality, even though that genetic code is really unlocking in everybody and everybody, or is starting to like unlock in everybody right now. We still are plagued by like like life. And life is like getting to it, it's like sticking on us and it won't like let the fuck go. You feel me? So like my my understanding of technology is supposed to help you at wherever stage that you're at. There, wherever stage that you're at in your human evolution, the technology is there as well, and it can be employed to help you get to the next level. That's how I see technology. So when I look at the technology that was around when I was a kid, I'm like, okay, I don't really get it. I mean, I didn't really understand what I just said now as a kid, but I was always interested in technology. I was just like, I don't really get it. Like, I don't get it. But then, I keep going, and then it clicks. A lot of the technology that we use today, like 10% of the technology you use, like software, Facebook, Instagram, all of that shit. Like most of that technology ain't doing shit for you. Now, most people think that's just it, that is just it, that's the technology around, that those companies are the only companies that's in this technology game. Like you won't believe it, but most people think that shit is it. Now, let me broaden your awareness real quick. There, that 90% that you're missing, there are companies that are playing with human consciousness and uploading it to machines. Look it up. It's called the Avatar Project. The US government. There are companies out here creating anti-gravity aircrafts. I'm talking, and this is not like, what's the word called? Um, them theories. It ain't one of them conspiracy theories. Like this is actual scientific grounded university written papers. People, PhDs don't talk about this. This is real. This shit is real. This is out. And you can go look this shit up. That's why I'm giving you the name so you look this shit up. This is real. So why do we need artificial intelligence? What is the 90% of technology that they're hiding from us? Human consciousness uploads, anti-gravity machines, robots that are indestructible, different type of warheads. Y'all not gonna believe it. Time travel machines. I'm trying to tell y'all, UFOs, space stations, space bases, satellites. I can see every single thing through your house, 3D, or it can see through shit. Brain reading bands, headbands that read your brain waves, technology that goes inside your brain that reads brain waves, and that can also be used as input to your brain to control you, to make you do things. They got little beepers that give off sound waves, and it makes you go deaf for like 5 minutes or something, or you hear a high pitched noise for like 5 minutes. The shit's real. So why understand technology? What is artificial intelligence here for? Well, in my mind, like I said, we are at a state where we could be any and all things, but we need to learn how to employ the technology so that we can do that. So you use artificial intelligence to do your busy work, to do the boring old human work. Now, what is the boring old human work? Well, that's why you need to understand your history. Go back in history and just read what humans been doing in their jobs, corporate jobs, 9 to 5 jobs, minimum wage jobs. Literally, just go back in the books and see what motherfucking humans been doing. Literally, we're still doing that shit. I look around and be like, this shit is so old school. So do you understand what I'm saying? There is a pot of fucking money to be made out here just by learning how to employ artificial intelligence to do the things that humans used to do. Now, some people be mad and be like, but you're cutting off people's jobs, this, that, and the other. No, we not. No, we not. No, we not. What we doing actually is opening up new opportunities to different jobs. Because once you say, um, I'm going to use artificial intelligence to control this part of your business and that part of your business and that part of your business. The business owners don't understand how that shit's going to happen. They just believe in this different businessman that's coming to them right now, talking to them and saying, yo, I got this idea and it's going to work. So if you got them, they believing in you. So now it's up to you to do it. And therefore, what I'm getting at is for them to can be able to continue using that service because, hey, that service rock. Once you do it and they see it and it's rocking, they'll be like, bet, we need this shit to continue. They're going to have to hire people to run that artificial intelligence sector. And then not only are they going to be like, bet is rocking, they're going to be like, how can we make it better? Like I've been saying, humans are always saying, how can we make it better? So they're gonna be like, how can we make it better? So then they hire another team of people who think about how they can use this artificial intelligence, plus see what the business is doing already, and then connect it together to see how it can even go bigger. So you're actually creating new jobs. Yeah, the old jobs go away, but you got to think about it. It's fucking evolution. The old things are supposed to go to the past. That's the fucking point of evolution. Keep the shit in the past, and new shit is gonna come. But the thing about humans is we don't like death. And the thing is not even death. It's called like we don't know how to depart from shit. Like we get attached to shit so much. And I know this for a fact for myself. I was in a long-term 7-year relationship that it shouldn't have been 7 fucking years. But I was there because I didn't know how to detach. And us humans have a problem. Like we literally attach to almost every fucking thing. You don't know how to detach from it. Like some people got all these little sentimental objects from their childhood. Yo, you already got the memory stored in here. You can actually let that shit go. You got to learn how to detach so that you can move that type of stuff out your life and bring in new things that might actually better your life. You feel me? So like that's what artificial intelligence is doing. It's just helping us move on in the state of evolution. Like we're literally at a point where like life is trying to make us evolve as humans, and people are like, no. And life is like, well, motherfucker, I'm going to keep pushing you. And life is stronger than people. But like, like if you're pushing something that's resistant, it's gonna take a lot longer than if you push something that's actually going in the direction that you was actually going in. So it's taking us a longer time to get in the direction that life is trying to fucking push us to. Like we are infinite beings. We are like these beings that use intelligence, that use spirit, that use logic to communicate not only on Earth but intergalactically. And we gotta start understanding how we can use these tools to get there. So I'm introducing GPT-3 to you. So once again, I'm saying artificial intelligence, use it to do the old school mundane things. What is one thing that's old school mundane to me? Sending fucking emails. Sending emails and fucking replying to emails. But first off, just sending emails. So I know as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, I gotta get these emails out because I need my fucking course to sell. So I gotta be in their face about once or twice a day. As I start getting out there, I'll probably ramp it up to 3 days. But first I gotta start getting out there. I gotta start getting them emails so that they know about me. They gotta know about me. But who the fuck is about to start sending all these emails every single day? Not the fuck I. So That's too mundane for me. That's the reason why. So therefore, if it equals mundane, this action equals mundane, to me, that means this action can be resolved using artificial intelligence. Why? Because the artificial intelligence that is here today is, in my mind, smarter than the average fucking human. Like in my mind, GPT-3, which was created by OpenAI and Microsoft in a lab using about 6 billion different parameters, in my mind, is smarter, more intelligent, more consciously aware of shit than most humans. Therefore, if I believe that, and most humans are doing these jobs, I can learn GPT-3 to the point where I can code up solutions where it's making decisions, content, emails, all types of shit for me. And then with the automation script, have the automation set up daily emails being sent out that GPT-3 is generating, not me. Maybe I'll look over them and make sure that they look good and got the right content, but I'm not generating them from scratch. And it's not me, and it's not GPT-3 doing one at a time. It's as many as you want at a time. You can build up a database of 1,000. Like you can literally do 1,000 emails generated, little pre-emails, and store them in a database because that's exactly what we're going to do. So, like, without further ado, I'm going to introduce GPT-3 and OpenAI inside of this live stream for like the next 30 minutes. And then in the next video, we're going to really hop into it and start using it. Let me go get some water. I'll be right back. Okay, we back at it again. We back at it again. Look, I be thinking the camera back up there, but it's right here now. I gotta get used to being right there. All right, bet. So let's tap in with GPT-3. So let me give you my background with GPT-3. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos about GPT-3 and shit, but I have not used it in depth. Like I said, I did create a bot. I call it social media bot nigga. I created a bot, or not social media bot nigga. I call it shit. It's one of my bot niggas. I forgot which one it is. But it's a very intellectual bot. I followed a tutorial on YouTube and just tweaked it for with my parameters that I needed, and then boom, it worked how I needed it to work. So pretty much, I created this intellectual being bot that has the consciousness of Einstein, Elon Musk, Nikola Tesla, who else? Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Steve Jobs, just big names and big philosophers, and then big prominent people who were in the black activists and shit, like Huey. I think I had Huey Newton on there, Frederick Douglass, people like that, Harriet Tubman, and pretty much I fed it like a pre-conversation between me and the bot. I made it like a chat bot. So I fed it a pre-conversation. So I told it it was this. I told it it was a being that was combined of all these beings. That's how I first fed it, and then I also fed it some more data where it was just like a mini conversation between me and that being. And I was just asking it some very esoteric questions and giving back esoteric answers. And then at the end, you just leave it off as like you about to say something, and then like you can say whatever you need to say, and then boom, like the bot will respond as a conversation. It's because it was trained to figure out how to, like, it was trained to understand like the conversation types that I was trying to have with it. So I know that's kind of complicated. So what we're going to do is do the same thing, but instead of like making it like this smart, intelligent being that understands like life at a deep perspective, we are going to create a being who understands how to email market computer science courses. and we're gonna give it a couple examples of what a good email will look like about one of my course or one of my YouTube videos, and then boom, uh, uh, let it create different emails from there and see what those emails look like. So that's really how we about to employ GPT-3. It's about to be really cool. We about to build our own email marketer, really. And really, what I just explained to you is called training. GPT allows you to train like a model. Like that's not even some in-depth training. I just threw a little bit together. I could have read way more in depth and added some information, added more data about those individuals and the things that they did, and like just way more, and it would have been even more smarter. So it really depends on how smart we want to make it. So it really depends on how how dope these emails come out. So without further ado, let me introduce you to GPT-3. All right, so we over here. Boom. All right, cool. Here. Okay. So if we come over here to OpenAI, keyboard. I need some snacks. Why the keyboard gotta be ignorant like that? Technical difficulties, nigga was talking too damn much, huh? Keyboard decided to disconnect. Hope they fix this on the new Mac update. Hello. You gonna connect, my nigga? Yeah. Ain't no damn way. Okay. I'm not for the fuck shit today. Thank God I got a cord. Plug that bitch right in. It's kind of hot in this one. All right, should be good. Let's see. Hello. There we go. Okay, we back in business now. Back in business. Back in business. All right. Okay. We're gonna open the AI. Boom. So right now they're talking about Dolly 2, which is real dope too, because Dolly 2 is another artificial intelligence, and you could pretty much say whatever the hell's on your mind that you wanted to create, and it'll create it from scratch. And yeah, it'll create it from scratch. Damn, alarm went off. So Dolly 2 pretty dope, but we need GPT-3 is what we want. Log in. Oh, here we go. OpenAI build next generation apps with OpenAI's powerful models. OpenAI's API provides access to GPT-3, which performs a wide variety of natural language tasks, and Kodak, which translates natural language to code. So what we're really interested in is GPT-3, which provides a wide variety of natural language tasks. natural language tasks. Think about things that you naturally like, different tasks that you use for language. Like these are this is what GPT-3 is used for. Anything that has to do with like talking or words. Developers can now customize GPT-3 for their own applications. GPT-3 can now be customized via our API with a single command. Developers can fine tune powerful AI models tailored to their needs. This is what I was talking about. Like we could train the model to how we really need it, and we don't got to write any of the like algorithms to do that. Like all we got to do is just like give it the data, really. So start building with a simple API call. So the completion endpoint dot create will create a like pretty much just it will just make it write stuff for you. So basically, if you give it this, create a promo copy for the Family Time mobile application. It allows unlimited uploading, special filters, and makes it easy to create albums of photos and videos. It runs on iOS and Android. So that was the prompt that it was given, and now GPT-3 creates this information. Family Time is the perfect app to share and create memories with your family. Family Time is free, unlimited photo and video editor that allows you to create albums of your moments or of your memories. It has a special filter for the perfect summer look and is so simple to use. Don't that just sound like perfect? Like, damn, that was a good ass commercial. That's what I'm saying. Perform a wide variety of natural tasks with natural language tasks. Think about it. Anything you got to do, you got to sell something, you need to write a paper, you need to talk, you need to create a speech, you need to create a blog, you need to create an outline for anything. GPT-3 was trained on 6 billion different things. I think it was 7 billion actually. It was trained on in different combinations and whatnot. And it thinks like this, way faster than your brain could ever process. Way, right now, at least, it's not trained to. So, understand me when I say we need to learn how to use these AI models that's already out here so that we can make life easier for us. Anything that got to do with writing, shit, nigga, I'm trying to run a business. It's all so much writing. So not only can it write stuff, but it understands. So I can give it the text that someone gives me, tell it to understand it and respond to it. Boom, and I can train it to respond in a certain way. I can make that bitch sound like me. And actually, I found an article that says make a version of yourself by training a GPT-3 model. And so, actually, I'm actually going through that article pretty soon. When I get through that, and I do do the tutorial, I'm gonna see if it's real, and then I'll probably come do a tutorial over here. But I'm telling y'all, the power of GPT-3 is on another level of just dope. Like we're gonna use it in this, so don't even worry. Like, I'm gonna get y'all tapped in. So you can even translate natural language to code with GPT. So what I mean by that is like, I don't know if y'all been paying attention to me code, but I put a comment like create a pandas data frame from this CSV file. And then next thing you know, GPT-3, or it's called GitHub Copilot, but it's really using GPT-3 on the back end. It's taking that comment and then it's figuring out what I needed to write based on the code I already wrote, and then it writes it out. And I'm like, damn, that shit's smart as hell. And so that's basically what this saying. It understands that natural language. I just told it something in natural language, and then it wrote code for me. That shit's wild. So yeah, the power GPT-3 is something different. So what we're gonna do is tap in with a couple some articles and some documentation to figure out how we can use GPT-3 within our application, and then we gonna tap in with that. So let's introduce GPT-3. Like I said, I made an application, but I didn't go deep into it. So shit, this is just the live stream and shit. So I'm like, shit, we could all learn this together. But I already got some background. We all can learn this together. So and then y'all get an understanding of how someone like at work at Microsoft thinks. that how we put things together really. Like that's one of the things that one of my coworkers was telling me to talk about in my videos. He said you need to show them how to think like a software engineer. Stop saying developer and coder, but say software engineer because we are engineering solutions. A coder just knows how to code, like they just know how to write code. They don't know how to engineer solutions. Developer, they just develop products, but they don't know how to write solutions. Engineer solutions together as well as do the code and all that other stuff. So I really want to show you how we really get shit down because I know I come to videos and I'd be like, I already know information, but I actually got to sit and go through these articles too, and I got to take notes on my iPad. And I'll be at shit for weeks because I mean, in school, like you got people, you got the teachers you can hit up or the IAs, but here in the real world, when you self-teaching, like shit, you could be at this shit for weeks trying to understand it. But when I tell you that this AI is so worth it, it's really worth it. But we won't be at it for weeks because I already went through a bunch of articles over the last year about GPT-3. And so really what we're doing for me is I'm gonna catch y'all up with all the, the nuances stuff, the research that I did over a year, but we're gonna really tap in and figure out how to use it really good with the code and what we needed to do. So that's why I want to go through these documentations real quick, and that's just, as a true programmer, that's how you gotta do. You excited to get to the product, but sometimes you just gotta slow down and really just get each bit. Like you gotta get each bit because like if you don't, man, the bugs at the end is gonna be ridiculous. So let's get it. The OpenAI API can be applied to virtually any task that involves understanding. What's good? Currently learning on Code Academy. Do you have any resources that you would recommend? Yeah, man. I got you. You say you currently learning on Code Academy. Let's see. Currently learning on Code Academy. What are you learning on Code Academy? Are you doing like some web development, or are you doing Python? But also, I would like to say that I got experience with Code Academy real quick. When I was in college, I had to take my first computer science class, and I mean I did I got like a B plus, but I really wanted to learn Python because they were trying to teach us at the end Python, but because they had told us C plus plus in the beginning, but full stack development. All right, yeah, they had told us C plus plus in the beginning, but they're trying to teach us Python in like a week or two at the end. And niggas wasn't getting it. So I was like, I want to learn Python. So I went on Code Academy, bro. That winter break, I went on Code Academy and I just went through the Python 3 section and I learned Python. And I was like, this is Python. This was cool. And I built the little apps that they had you build as you go through the shit. And then I was like, okay, I kind of know Python, but I never really tried to build anything before, like with Python at that moment. So then next thing you know, I go back to school that next semester and they got this Python class. I started doubting myself like, man, I don't know if I really know Python. Like, I don't know if Code Academy was really doing, like, if it really got me the knowledge for Python. So I went and I took the Python class. Bro, that was the first A I ever got in that class because literally Code Academy, like, it was perfect, bro. Like, I ain't struggled not one time in that class. So really, like, a good resource is Code Academy, bro. If you can like discipline yourself to get through those lessons each day, bro, do it, man. Like, shoot, I'm still using Code Academy to this day to learn machine learning and stuff. Actually, I think I got Code Academy up. So I fuck with Code Academy, man. Definitely that one. What other resources do I use? I use Udemy. A lot of my courses, see, build a machine learning model with Python. And I was doing a web development one. Or I think I was doing two machine learning courses, but yeah. These are the last one I was doing was the machine learning. So I'm a big fan of Code Academy, man. And really just take what I just said, determine or discipline. And that's my thing, as you see, bro. Like I haven't disciplined myself to finish my things, but I definitely want to get back into it. And appreciate you motivating me. I guess with more time out of work now, I can do that. But yeah, all right. So you doing full stack development? I would definitely say knock out the stuff on Code Academy. But now, bro, it's time to start thinking about like just different apps that you would like to build. Because really, man, that's really what full stack development is. You know how to build the back end, which is the most important part in my mind. If you just using the product yourself, you know how to build that back end. But then you know how to add a user interface on top of it. And not only do you know that you can add any user interface on top of that back end. it don't really matter what the user interface is. You can add anyone on top of that. So now what you need to start doing is looking around your life, bro, and saying, what type of little software could I be using right now that could help me out? Think about things that you would like to automate, bro. And that's like really that's what the beginning, things that you would like to automate. I don't know what type of things you do, but you look at the things that you like to automate, and those the first projects that you need to hit, bro. Because you will knock out and they may be small little automations. They may just be like 50 lines of Python code, but then add a user interface on top of it, and then you'd be wow. And then use it for a while. You just build up this library of tools that actually mean something to you, and your skills just gonna come so quick, bro. But if you're just doing BS stuff, like a lot of people be doing, just making calculators and shit that they ain't never gonna use, it's going to be a little harder for it to click. Dope. I'm currently 30% way through it and and retaining a lot of info. I'm still pushing forward. Oh, discipline. Yes, sir. Tap in, man. Tap in. But yeah, man, it's really just discipline and shit. 30% is real good, man. So shit, let's make it 50. Let's make a go Sunday, and then shit next Sunday have 80%, and just work like that, man. Shoot, it's gonna get done, man, and you're gonna understand a lot, man. And shoot, if you ever want to make an application and you doing full stack, man, we could work out some stuff together, bro. I be wanting to do hackathons with people. A lot of people still trying, like, in that learning, trying to get a job stage. So I respect that. I don't put too much pressure on people anymore, but I be wanting to do hackathons. I be just wanting to like code up different projects. I got a robot that we gonna get into and shit. Like I be wanting to do all types of shit with people, but I gotta wait. I realized I got into this shit real early when it was like still nobody really understood. So now people understanding and getting into it, like I'm like, all right, bet I'm about to be able to start working with people, because a lot of people I work with be old heads. They be old as hell. Not young, but it's starting to seem like a lot more young people starting to get into it. All right, back to OpenAI. So what I was saying was OpenAI API can be applied to virtually any task that involves understanding or generating natural language or code. We offer a spectrum of models with different levels of power suitable for different tasks, as well as the ability to fine tune your own custom models. These models can be used for everything from content generation to semantic search and classification. So I know that's a lot that I just said that you might need to unpack. So let's go, like, in my mind, word by word, that I think y'all might have kind of been like fall off. So API, OpenAI. First off, what is OpenAI? OpenAI is a company that works on AI things. Now, the open came from open source, but recently, like in the last few years, they've been doing a lot of things with Microsoft, not open source, and been charging people with stuff. So they need to just go with like not open, not open AI, but like they name open API. All right, so or open AI. So that's why they wrote a lot of AI models for free, for free. What's the word called? For free, open source. But now they make more things not open source, but that's where the open comes from. Okay, and now an API. Now API is real cool because you got these companies like OpenAI that creates all of these artificial intelligence algorithms that, I mean, not only do they want to use, but they want to give it to the public to use. So the way that they give it to the public to use is through this like paradigm called API, and that stands for Application Programming Interface. It's some weird shit, but pretty much it's an interface for you to like interact with their programming code inside of your application. So basically, they got this code, this AI code that can read text and understand what the text means. You want that ability in your application, but you don't want to write that shit from scratch because that will take you as many years as it has taken these people to write it, thousands of years. So you want to use something that was already created if it's already out there. Bet Open API or Open AI has this API that you can use that connects to the logic that they wrote inside their system. And you can use that all you want. and then it will generate the response and stuff and the understanding, and then it will give you the data back, and then you can use that data inside of your application. So that's an example of a API, but there are APIs on almost anything. You get an API for like Google Maps, like pretty much like map data. So like if you was writing an application and you need to understand different parts of the world, you could tap in with Google Maps and get like a map to show up on your app and stuff, and even Apple Maps too if you're on iOS. You make it like a Swift application. You can get an API for almost anything. Nike shoe prices and stuff when the Nikes drop. You wonder why these bots are killing y'all? The bots are killing y'all because they got these APIs that connect to the stores that get the money or that get the dates and the times, and it knows exactly when to go. And then they put these automations on computers, and these computers just running 24/7. I need to get y'all game right. Y'all still running that old school game and getting killed by everybody. This is why y'all need to understand technology. And when you add artificial intelligence on top of it, it's going to go stupid. So yes, that's what we're doing here. So that is the point of open AI and their API. Cool. So it says the open AI API can be applied to virtually any task that involves understanding or generating natural language. So any task that involves natural language, anything that you need to do, like speaking or whatnot. Hey, bro, yeah, build a sneaker bot, bro. It's not too bad, man. The competition is out there. I ain't gonna lie, the competition out there, but you can do it, especially if when you learn the system of the sneaker bot and you understand how it go, and then you understand the power of GPT-3, you will be like, oh, this shit's gonna be easy. And honestly, the same with stocks, the same with email marketing. Once you really understand the power of GPT-3 and you understand whatever field that you're in, and you understand that you can employ this, however, because no one's thinking about this shit, you about to be eaten very easily. So yeah, bro, you're gonna build a nice ass sneaker bot on my mama. All right, cool. So it understands and it can generate natural language. That's amazing. So we offer a spectrum of models. There we go. Spectrum one. What does that mean? So it's over like one through 10. It's like a spectrum of numbers. All right. And but actually they blend. But this one is saying it offers like various models. Now, what is a model? So a model is kind of like a human model, really. Like you think about a model, it's a type of like it's a form of it's a way of thinking, a way of looking. It's but the thing is, you can have different models for different things. So like you have a shoe model, you got a dress model, all of that stuff. Well, when you think about a shoe model, they gotta have like foot, and you gotta understand the feet, and they got nice feet, and the toes gotta look a certain way, and this, that, and the other. It's a lot of data about the feet that is analyzed by the human being that is deciding if they want that other human being to be a model or not, right? But that's pretty much what a model is in terms of computer science. See, you got an example of here we in OpenAI, we got an example of a conscious human being who knows how to generate information. Now, this conscious human being, though, can be at different levels of understanding. And so each of these levels of understanding is a certain model. So you can have the Da Vinci model that understands very, very well. It understands everything from the other models. But then you got these other models that understand things very specifically, like certain things very well, but they don't understand the other things as well. And so you kind of think about, different people through life. Like a foot model is not finna hit, maybe their hands might be fucked up. So like they might have great feet, but they might have horrible hands. You feel me? So like the models are specific to specific use cases. And so they're saying we have a spectrum of those models that you can go through and say, I think this model would be best used for what I needed to do. Like I could use Da Vinci, but I know Da Vinci is like a general purpose one and understands most. But what if there's a better model that's suited for writing emails? I'd rather use that model then. So you feel me? So that's what it's talking about. So this API, this open AI company created an API that we can use. And inside the API, they have like multiple different models that we can use to understand and generate natural language. That shit deep, y'all. Come on, man. Like, yes, this shit is real. And like I said, these models can be used for everything from content generation. Do you understand me? Content generation. That is the shit on YouTube and Instagram and all of that. Y'all looking at content. You can generate content, emails, um, websites, copyright needs all of that. This is content to semantic search and classification. Those two are deep, and I can't explain them too well because I'm still understanding them. You know what? Let's see if I can. Boom. Semantic search denotes search with meaning, as distinguished from lexical search, where the search engine looks for the literal matches of the query words or variants without understanding the overall meaning of the query. Semantic search seeks to improve search accuracy by understanding the searcher's intent and the contextual meaning of terms as they appear in the searchable data space, whether on their web or within a closed system, to generate more relevant results. That is some deep shit. So this just said basically, if you ask it some shit, it's just not going to go look at like certain words and pull back sites that got those words. No, it's going to actually take everything you said, try to understand it, and then find the articles that have that understanding. That's some deep shit right there. Okay, and classification meaning that, like, for me, I want to use the classification because I write different things, and sometimes I want to have them stored in different like sections. So I wanted to classify what's like basically read the stories and then tell me like what was the theme of this story, and then boom, put it into its own like box and build from my stories, just build up a whole bunch of different boxes where that can classify it for different things. So like you can think about other things that could be classified type shit. So think about like this thing can do anything like language wise. That's some deep shit. All right, key concepts. We recommend completing our quick start tutorial to get acquainted with key concepts through a hands-on interactive example. Let's see what that's talking about. I think I might have already done it. Oh yeah, I did do this. All right. So we're gonna go back to the guide. All right. Prompts and completions. The completions endpoint is at the center of our API. So basically, we can use the API, and in the code, we're gonna call something completion. I know that's probably way over y'all. Hey, I'll see you later. But there's this thing called a completion in the API. It provides a simple interface to our models that is extremely flexible and powerful. You input some text as a prompt, and the model will generate a text completion that attempts to match whatever context or pattern you gave it. For example, if you give the API the prompt, write a tagline for an ice cream shop, it will return a completion like, "We serve up smiles with every scoop." Designing your prompt is essentially how you program the model, usually by providing some instructions or a few examples. This is different from most other natural language processing services, which are designed for a single task, such as sentiment classification or name entity recognition. Instead, the completions endpoint can be used for virtually any task, including content or code generation, summarization, expansion, convert conversation, creative writing, style transfer, and more. That shit is real. So based on how you design your prompt, you can get this thing to pretty much do anything for you. Okay. So that was once again just an overview. Now we get into the real shit. It's starting to talk about tokens. So our models understand and process text by breaking it down into tokens. Tokens can be words or just chunks of characters. For example, the word hamburger gets broken down into tokens, hamburger, while a short and common word like pear is a single token. Many tokens start with a white space, for example, hello and bye. All right, so basically they break things down into tokens. Why are they telling us about tokens? Let's see. The number of tokens processed in a given API request depends on the length of both your inputs and your outputs. As a rough rule of thumb, one token is approximately 4 characters or 0.75 words for English text. One limitation to keep in mind is that your text prompt and generated completion combined must be no more than the model's maximum context length. For most models, it's 248 or 2048 tokens, which is times four. Let's see, four, which is 8,192 characters, or about 1,500 words. Check out our tokenizer tool to learn more. All right, so they break down the tokens, and each request can have over 1,500 words, which is what 1,500 words like a essay. Remember, we used to have them 1,000 word essays and be like, "Fuck." Try to double space that shit, make it look longer. All right, the API is powered by a set of models with different capabilities and price points. Our GPT-3 models are called DaVinci, Curie, Baggage, and Ada. Our Codex series a descendant of GP3D that's trained on both natural language and code. Okay, so next steps. Cool, we got through that part. So let's see, keep our app review process in mind as you start building. We can do that later. Explore examples, jump into the guides of start building. So we're gonna do the guides. So text completion, learn how to generate or edit text using our models, learn how to generate, edit, or explain code. All right, we're gonna go past it's a quick start. Yeah, quick start. The quick start is basically we just get an example, I guess. No, because they already yeah. So let's talk about the parameters over here. So that makes sense. It's doing it in Node.js too. What about libraries? Models. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Guides. There we go. All right, am I looking for API reference? Yeah, there we go. Introduction. There we go. I almost knew it was somewhere. Where's the shit at? Yep. Okay, cool. So this is really all you gotta go through to understand the API because we're gonna use the API, so I need to understand it. So we understand now what GPT-3 is. It can write text for almost anything, and we can employ it inside of our applications using some code and OpenAI API. Cool. So let's get down to business and see. Now it's time to dive. Now we got an understanding of what the API is. Now we need to dive into the guides, the code, so that we can see how we can use it. It's called the documentation, but they call it API reference here. So, different companies use different phrases. Okay, so you can interact with the API through HTTP requests from any language via our official Python bindings, our official Node.js library, or our community maintained library. To install the official Python, pip install OpenAPI or npm install if you are on JavaScript. Okay, so how to use this? The OpenAI API uses API keys for authentication. Visit your API keys page to retrieve the API key you'll use in your request. Bet. So when we're gonna use this, we're gonna go grab our API key and then we'll do that. So remember that your API key is a secret. Do not share it. Oh, basically, let me get into API key. In order to use their API, they give you a key, and it's going to be a whole bunch of random ass characters. And so whenever you use their API, you got to use it with your key so that they can identify that it's you that's using their API. That's why you get an API key. And so you don't want to share the API key with anybody because then they will be able to authenticate to OpenAI as you, and you don't want that. Cool. Okay, remember that your API key is a secret. Do not share it with others or expose it in any client-side code, browsers or apps. Production requests must be routed through your own backend server where your API key can be securely loaded from an environment variable or key management service. Do not fret. That's why we're using Python. Our stuff will be routed through our backend. Okay, all API requests should include your API key and an authorization HTTP header. Don't worry, we're using Python, it'll take care of it. Example Python package, there you go. So you got your OS module, you got OpenAPI, and you say OpenAPI, what is our organization? We'll make that up on the fly, and then we set the API key, os.get environment variable, OpenAPI, boom, then we can list the different models. But if this part fails, then this will fail too. My bad. So we can set the API key, and then if this fails, that means that we set the wrong damn API key and it's not working. So cool. And then this is it using Node.js. So basically, we need an API key to use the API. Makes sense. And it showed us how to do that. Cool. Now, making requests. So basically, when you want to use the API, it's called making a request. So you can paste the command below into your terminal to run your first API request. Make sure to replace your API key with the secret API key. The request queries the DaVinci model to complete the text starting with a prompt of say this is a test. The max tokens parameter sets an upward bound on how many tokens the API will return. You should get a response back that resembles the following. So this is what the call to open API will look like if we was using like curl or something. It's gonna look different for us in Python. Don't worry. So you gotta set the content type, which is application JSON. Then you gotta set the bear for the key, and then you'll send the data, which is like this. And basically, the data says you're using a model, which is the text DaVinci model, and then you have a prompt, like it said. It says say this is a test, and then you set the temperature to 0 and the max token only to 6. Those are just different parameters. So now, after we say this to OpenAPI is going to respond to us with this. And this is data. It's saying the ID, generate an ID. It said the object, this is text completion, the time it was created, the model that was used, and then the choices is basically the response. It's the answer to the question. And so remember, this said pretty much say this is a test. So OpenAPI said this is a test. It said this is a test. So that's what it says. It's smart ass sometimes. So now you've generated your first completion. If you concatenate the prompt in the completion text, which the API will do for you if the echo parameter to true, the resulting text is say this is a test, this is a test. You can also set the string character to true for the API to stream back text as data only server events, sent events. So your account starts in development mode, and you must manually review and curate any outputs before displaying them to user. See our app review process when you're ready to start serving production traffic. Models. List and describe the various models available in the API. You can refer to the models documentation to understand what models are available and the differences between them. Remember, I was showing you different models out here. We might check that out later. So you got list models. So list the currently available models and provides the basic information, each one, such as the owner and the availability. So if you ask for the models, you'll get a list of models. So you got the ID, object, own, permissions. So this model ID, owner, permission. That's just the model list. Cool. Retrieve model. Retrieves a model instance, providing basic information about the model, such as the owner and permissioning. This is going to go get a model for us. I'm going to get text DaVinci. See, model / text DaVinci. It returns the information about text DaVinci model. You got your path parameter model, the ID, and it's required of the model used for the request. So now you got the completions. The completion is real cool. Given a prompt, the model will return one or more predicted, and these are the different inputs, endpoints, and opportunities that we can use with OpenAPI. So given a prompt, the model will return one or more predicted completions and can also return the probabilities of alternative tokens at each position. So basically, you can give it a prompt and it can respond to it with multiple answers, and then it will tell you which answer is the best based on like a probability or whatnot. And so that's pretty cool. And that's pretty much how we've been seeing it done before. So we're probably going to use the completion endpoint a lot. So you just say slash completions and then create a completion for the provided text and request body. So you got to tell it about the model that you want that's required. ID of the model to use. You can use list model API to see all your available models, or use the model overview for the description. So basically you figure out which model you want to use. And in the parameter, you will say what model. I'm going to use the DaVinci. Then you got prompt. Your prompt, this is a string or an array, and it's optional. The prompt or the prompts to generate completions for encoded as a string, an array of strings, array of tokens, or array of token arrays. Note that end of text is the document separator that the model sees during training. So if a prompt is not specified, the model will generate as if from the beginning of a new document. So that's the prompt, and we need an end of text shit to tell the model when we stop. We got the suffix that comes after a completion of inserted text. Give me 1 second, y'all. Actually, we're gonna call it there. We really almost done. 1 second. Yeah, we're almost done with the API. So cool. We're gonna call it there. We're gonna get back to the API next time and really just start coding up. But go through this, look through the APIs, the API reference. We're gonna tap in next. Deuces. Boom.